Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Yes, I have rolled out of bed, got on to my computer to record for you a video today on Friday morning. For me, Friday morning, which is going to be my, my usual blog, whatever I call my pre-blog before the Odd Voice post a video kind of stuff about stuff that's going to be coming up both today and for next week. We do have, which is kind of apt after I made my previous video. But we do have a Danger Room coming back, and this one's going to be featuring Brimstone. There's also, but it's going to be like on the following weekend. So not this weekend, but the next weekend. Maybe it won't even be in the blog today because technically it's on the following weekend. And then there's also going to be a tower, but I think this is going to be just a rerun of one of the ones that we had called the Baxter Tower. I have some screenshots of what the rewards were. I believe this was in the summer, related to the Fantastic Four movie release and that kind of stuff, but looks like that will be coming back anyways. And we also need to talk about Sentry City and the Sentry boss fight and some things that you should know going into that later on today, which is going to start. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Okay, so let's start here with the data mines. Let's remove my face just for a moment. So this is basically these command center hints that pop up. And this is the best or biggest indication about some of the things that are going to be going on during the week. This is essentially the data mines for that. This was actually out like 2 days ago or like a day and a half ago, but I didn't do a video yesterday because I just wasn't really in the mood to do that. My apologies. As you guys know, I've been feeling a bit on the down with Marvel Strike Force these days. But anyways, so Baxter Building featuring Fantastic Four is live. Now, you might recall that this was a previous event that we ran. I don't know if they're making any changes to it. It could just be a re-release. That being said, it's still better than nothing, right? Like I said, that we should have these things on a weekly rotation basis. And while I would like some new versions of it, I'm still completely okay with them just spitting out stuff that they've done before because it's better than nothing, I guess. Swordmaster releases today. So these normally go live on like Monday or Tuesday in the command center, probably Monday, right? So I guess we're gonna get in the blog about Swordmaster. I thought Steel Serpent was second, but I guess Swordmaster second. And he's probably going to be released on Monday. Should be in the blog later on today. Of course, he doubles for Immortal Weapons and Mighty Avengers. And then it says New Danger Room is live. Although what's interesting though, maybe this is starting Monday because it suggests it's live now, right? But then if you look down below, oh yeah, Immortal Weapons, blah blah blah, help you excel in Chapter 3. I think the first Thunderstrike trials are going to be basically Brimstone and Immortal Weapons, right? The first two teams. Usually the first two teams are the most important when it comes to these trial events. But it says this weekend, earn XLs from Danger Room. Unless it's running twice. Maybe there's two of it running? Because it says Danger Room is live, right? And this usually activates on Monday. Earn XLs from Danger Room this weekend. Why does it say the same thing 3 times? I don't know. And then there's going to be some bonus for logging in for 7 days. Hell, maybe this is the other 50 shards for Hellcat because we were missing that as well. Now, I want to share with you guys this screenshot, which I believe was taken from a video of Dinman. Was it? I just searched for like the Baxter Tower. I tried to find the fastest video. I couldn't even find it on my own for some reason. Of the milestone rewards that existed. So Baxter Tower was a 10 floor. There was regular Baxter Tower and Omega Baxter Tower. And it was largely like a story thing where at the top mission that you would fight Annihilus in some sort of story battle, right? And that was kind of the lead into that. And this basically showed the milestone rewards at the top. And this included unstable cells, which ended up being a currency that you would use to open orbs. I don't expect those to be there. Maybe something else will be there instead. Maybe these will get revamped. Maybe it won't be this. The rewards are not really that good, though. Because like these, I mean, sure, maybe if you're really, it's not a lot of purple ion crystals. That's all I'm saying. And the red catalyst and red origin material is kind of garbage at this point as well. So the rewards kind of suck. I really hope that they've kind of maybe thought about this and maybe update the rewards a little bit and maybe have some G20s. That'd be nice, or even just a little bit, right? Just a little bit would be great. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, I'm still one of the. I do want more content. Don't get me wrong. I want them to spit out more things for us, but I do want the resources to be somewhat meaningful. And now that I went back through some of the comments of my past videos, it really makes me believe that the reason why they don't do content more for us is because it does mean more resources. And so more content means more resources, you know, usually stuff that we would need. And then it means people are not buying this as much, which is really a sad state of affairs with Marvel Strike Force. But maybe that's why they're holding back content, because they just don't want us to have more resources. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, so that's what's going on next week. Again, maybe it's early week, maybe it's also next weekend. I'm unsure about the danger room. Maybe it's more than once. Who knows? Let's talk about Sentry City. So I haven't put out videos on the Chaos Nodes and stuff like that. Some of them are easier than others. I just do want to, like, if you do watch this before this ends, the chaos. Maybe I'll go back and do this. I did it a couple times and I didn't have the patience for it actually. So it's fine. I mean, it's challenging. It's doable. But it is a pain in the ass. But for those people who want to do that, the VP missing like 10,000 kind of hurts. But if you only do a few waves, it's not that big of a deal, because the amount of VP you're going to get from Sentry is going to dwarf any of this stuff. But anyways, bonus mission, absolute dog shit without Blue Marvel. If you're wondering why you can't beat it with Phoenix Force and or Phantom Rider, because it was not meant to be beat without Blue Marvel. How many people? Oh, you know what? We got one guy. Wink, wink. Wink, congratulations, Wink, because I know Wink has Blue Marble, so everyone else who tried crashed out. So yeah, don't be mad if you don't do that, because that's what it was is what it was designed for. Let's talk about Sentry and the boss fight, though. So this is going to be starting later on today. And it's really important to note that you're getting 1 million VP per kill. You get 500,000 for basically taking him down to 0, but you get an additional 500,000 for a kill, which is a total of 1 million VP per kill. It's just a lot, right? So we're my lines, anyways. Where are we at? Are we really only at 1 million going into this? No, I think that's just for this zone, right? We have a total of 3 million VP. Okay, so that's fine. So where we got last time was we got 80 shards. Oh no, sorry. I think we were around, so 50 for the kill, and then we got 30 shards. So we were somewhere around here, 10 to 11 million tier 22. Now our goal is to improve that. So we want to get at least 8 kills, 8 Sentry kills. We'll see if that ends up happening to get the 35 shards or higher. The main difference is that, at least for my alliance, we should have a full Brimstone team ready. If you followed my recommendations and what I was saying that people should do with their sigils, you know, make sure that you're buying Hellcat shards, because you're not going to get the 50 Hellcat shards from the command center to help you before Sentry goes away, right? Sentry is going to be ending on Saturday, and you essentially need to get this done with Hellcat. Well, there's a huge difference between a four-piece Brimstone and a 5-piece Brimstone, okay? So if you want to do better on your score to help your alliance or everyone to help collectively, you need to have Hellcat unlocked. And so I made sure I was doing my coring every day to make sure that I could get Hellcat to the 100 shard mark before today, or at least before it goes live, right? So I did manage to do that. I saved my sigils to do this. So let's talk about the top teams that you're going to want to use for Sentry in the boss fight. So I have made a handful of Battle World teams, some of them which are really good, some of them are less good, but still some ideas that you could do. Let's kind of pull up, I want to pull up a screenshot. So this is from my last run of D6. This was my personal run. Ignore this. I don't know. I think this is a bit of a glitch when it's showing the VP, because it's 500. Like, I did like a lot of damage, like more than what 100,000 VP should be worth. But anyways, so this was 364 million damage, and I managed to do this from this top team. This was Odin, Mephisto, and the Fantastic Four MCU, and I managed to get about that. Some people got about 300 million, some people got about 400 million. There's a little bit of RNG depending on how many turns that Odin takes when his basic swipes. You know, so he's basically doing a full 2 million damage every time the basic swipes. And I think if you can let the Sentry minion ads, if you can let them take a turn, Odin's going to swipe more frequently and therefore do more damage. And I think that's what the variation of the scores are on this top team. And Odin does make a big difference on this Sentry fight. I feel like a lot of damage is coming from him, but Mephisto also helps by having the barrier on your team every turn with the mark of Mephisto. That helps too. Now, I got the best luck with using these two, Odin, Mephisto, with Fantastic Four. Other people have said things like Odin, Liberty have done fairly well, but as far as getting the top score, ironically, I heard that this is even better than the full Brimstone team. I heard that the full Brimstone team sometimes, depending on star ranks, right, that's going to be important, because your survivability matters. The longer you last, the more score you're going to get. So the second team, I think, is going to be full Brimstone. This is going to net you probably in the 200 million range if you have the full team, plus or minus, star ranks, survivability, all this kind of stuff, diamonds, blah, 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 how long you survive. But this is going to be the second team that you're going to want to consider. I tried this with 4 Brimstone without Hellcat the last time, and I only managed to get about 80 million. And that was with, and I want to say this is a D6. Some people are on D5 or lower. Your mileage is going to vary. I just hit my mic. But a D6, the full Brimstone team should get you at least 200. The 4 only got me about 80 million, and I was using Professor Xavier. So it didn't do so well there. Keep that in mind, though. It should be your second best team outside of the Odin Mephisto combination. Third is still going to be Astral. I heard that you can put up like a good, 100-ish million with the full Astral team. Mine is not all 105. My Doctor Strange, my Moondragon, and my Ancient One are 100. I guess I could put them up to 105. I don't really want to G20 them. I don't even have a G20 Shadow King, so there we go. But I do remember this being basically my third best team damage-wise on my team. So that's something that is still there if you have this available. Newer players may not. Okay, this is another one that was recommended by one of my Alliance members that I want to share with you guys. I have not personally done this, but they said they put up about 100 to 150 million score. A little bit of variance here depending on what star ranks you have, gear 20 and whatnot. But basically Phoenix Force, Quasar, Old Man Logan, and Professor Xavier if you have him. Okay, maybe you could sub Xavier for someone else, but also that you're going to get a Cyclops summon from Xavier, so that maybe helps a little bit in terms of retaliation damage, this kind of thing. And I know there's some combos with Phoenix and Cyclops, I think, there. So there's some like retaliation damage there. So that's something to note. This other team that I want to talk about, which is going to be Null, Gore, Hivemind, this is something that works more on difficulty 5. Not quite at difficulty 6 because the stats are significantly higher. The whole point of this team is that you're killing the minions so fast, you're getting turn meter all the time, and you're getting a lot of extra turns in. The problem is Hivemind's kind of, they're worse now with stats-wise, so it's a bit harder to kill the minions, honestly, on difficulty 6. I still managed to pick up about 80 million damage with this, but it was not as good as some people reported in D5 or D4, where they were able to kill the minions a lot faster, and therefore, like, turn bar was quite significant at that point. So you can try that if you need to. Otherwise, you're kind of down at the bottom of the barrel a little bit. And Vigilantes is still a pretty solid team sustain-wise, and they're still able to put out the damage for that. There's 5 total teams that you can use, and I would say after the first major 3, you're kind of scraping other teams together. That being said, Vigilantes still puts out decent damage. I think I managed to get like 60 million with them, maybe 70 million with them on that one. I also heard that Liberty Apocalypse did pretty decently as well. So this is not something that I use, but this was something recommended to me. As far as some of the other teams that you could potentially put in there, I mean, I guess Orcus is a thing, Night Stalkers is a thing, but honestly, you want teams that are going to survive and have some level of sustainability. I don't know if Hellfire Club really has that, because they're not getting war text activated in this, whereas Daredevil Modern and Vigilantes, actually, they do heal themselves up a fair bit, so that's just something to keep in mind there as far as why you wouldn't use some of the latest teams. And I think that the teams that you do want to use are going to be the ones that are more farmable, at least for your 4 and 5 slots, right? Because these are the characters who are going to have high hit points because they're at 7 yellow or diamonds or whatever, and they're going to survive longer, which means more damage for you. So I just wanted to share some of these team comps with you so that you guys can prepare better for Sentry, which is going to be starting later on today, 7 hours from now. So that's going to be about 7 p.m. my time, and I believe, I'm not mistaken, that's 10 a.m. Pacific time, I think. So prepare for that, as of recording, of course. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Otherwise, we will see the blog later on today, and if there's anything different than what I've already said here today, I guess I'll comment it on the weekend, perhaps. That's it for now, everyone, and I'll see you guys all on the next video.
And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.